Once upon a time, in a small, picturesque town, lived a beautiful young couple, Maria and Carlos. They had a seemingly perfect life, a lovely home, a wonderful son, and a successful business. However, behind closed doors, their relationship was far from perfect. Maria had grown increasingly suspicious of her husband, Carlos' fidelity. She had heard whispers from friends and family that Carlos had a wandering eye, but she chose to ignore them, believing that her love was strong enough to withstand any obstacle. One fateful evening, as Maria was preparing for an important business dinner, she couldn't shake off her doubts any longer. She decided to take matters into her own hands and uncover the truth about Carlos's infidelity. As Carlos left for a business meeting, Maria stayed up late, waiting for him to return. When he finally came home in the early hours of the morning, Maria confronted him, demanding to know where he had been. Carlos, caught off guard, stammered, and admitted that he had been at a bar with some friends. Maria, hurt and angry, decided that she needed concrete evidence to confirm her suspicions. She hatched a plan and enlisted the help of her closest friends, Anna and Sofia. Together they devised a scheme to catch Carlos in the act. They planted Anna and Sofia at the local bar, where they were to seduce Carlos and lure him to a secluded location. The following evening, Maria waited anxiously for Carlos to leave the house. As soon as he was out the door, she called Anna and Sofia, who were already in position at the bar. They had managed to get Carlos drunk and were now leading him to a deserted alley, eager to fulfill their mission. In the meantime, Maria donned a disguise and followed her husband, waiting for the right moment to confront him. As she suspected, Carlos was completely unaware of the trap that had been set for him. When he finally realized what was happening, it was too late. Maria had seen everything and was heartbroken by the betrayal. She followed Carlos to his car, where he had left his clothes in a drunken stupor. Maria gathered his clothes and threw them out of the car window, leaving Carlos naked and ashamed in the driver's seat. As luck would have it, a maid named Lucia was walking by the alley at that exact moment. She saw Carlos in his vulnerable state and, feeling a mixture of pity and curiosity, decided to help him. She brought him to her small apartment, where she dressed him in her own clothes. As Carlos struggled to fit into Lucia's tight dress and high heels, he couldn't help but feel ridiculous and uncomfortable. However, as the night wore on, something strange began to happen. Lucia, who had initially intended to mock and humiliate Carlos, started to feel a strange attraction towards him. She confessed that she too had been hurt by love in the past and understood the temptation to stray. As they shared their stories, a unique bond formed between them. Meanwhile, Maria had returned home, devastated by what she had seen. Her heart was broken, and her trust in Carlos shattered. She knew that their marriage was over, but before she could confront him, she received a call from Lucia. Lucia, who had been keeping a careful eye on Carlos, informed Maria that her husband was at her apartment. Maria, confused and angry, rushed to Lucia's apartment, where she found Carlos, dressed in Lucia's clothes, confessing his infidelity. Seeing her husband in such a vulnerable state, Maria couldn't help but feel a strange mixture of compassion and rage. She knew that she couldn't continue to live with Carlos, but she also knew that she couldn't let this betrayal destroy her. In that moment, she sued Carlos for divorce and decided to move on with her life. As for Carlos and Lucia, their unexpected connection led to a passionate romance. They realized that they had both been through similar experiences and found solace in each other's arms. In time, they grew to love each other deeply, and their relationship flourished. Maria, on the other hand, was determined to rebuild her life. She focused on her business and her son, pouring all her energy into ensuring their happiness. She found solace in her close-knit group of friends, who supported her through her difficult times. As the years passed, Maria's heart healed, and she eventually found love again. She met a kind, understanding man named James, who helped her put the past behind her. They married and had a beautiful daughter together, completing their family. Carlos and Lucia, now a happy couple, also started a family of their own. They learned from their past mistakes and worked hard to build a loving, trusting relationship. Despite the tumultuous past, everyone involved managed to find happiness in their new lives. Maria and Carlos's son grew up to be a successful, compassionate man who learned from his parents' mistakes and valued the importance of loyalty and trust in relationships. Anna and Sofia, who had played a pivotal role in uncovering Carlos's infidelity, went on to have their own happy endings, finding love and success in their respective lives. As for Lucia, she finally found the love and stability she had always longed for, and her life was forever changed by her unexpected romance with Carlos. In the end, although the road to happiness was filled with challenges and heartache, everyone involved in this tangled web of deceit and betrayal managed to find their way to a better future. It was a story of love, loss, and redemption that would be remembered for generations to come.
Please subscribe to my channel Lessons of Life and press the bell notification icon.